Good evening to all and welcome to the session. Today's session is all about how to master verbs. Verbs, the most important topic. You may ask, sir, why the plural form? Here, before we go to the definition, I have been telling you guys whenever you come across a particular topic, you want to master the topic, you have to start with the definition. Already have seen noun, I started with the definition, and pronoun also, I started with the definition. But here, when it comes to verbs, I haven't started with the definition. I have written, excuse me, I have written the types of verbs. There's a reason for that. What is the reason? Broadly, we have two types of verbs. First one, auxiliary verbs. These are two in number. Primary auxiliaries, modals. Primary auxiliaries are three in number and modals 20. We also use a word, the expression helping verbs. Then we have the second type. What is the second one? It is main or action verbs. Main or action verbs. These are very important from the exam point of view. Thank you very much. Now let us go to primary auxiliaries. If you take auxiliary verbs, main or action verbs, auxiliary verbs, again two types. Primary auxiliaries, what are those? Am, and if you take the primary auxiliary am, is, are, usually people know. That is known as a primary auxiliary be or to be. And the second one, the primary auxiliary do. The third one is very important, primary auxiliary have. Then we have models will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might. All these come under models. Very important from communication skills point of view and also from the exam point of view. Today we are going to spend time on main or action verbs, how to master those main or action verbs. Let us start with the definition. Definition of main or action verbs. An action verb is a word that expresses an action. Every day we do a lot of actions. Don't take negatively. Eat, write, listen, walk, run. Each one is an action. All these examples come under action verbs. Walk, that is an action. Talk, action. And watch, that is also an action. Observe. And all these come under, there are thousands of action verbs. These are very important when it comes to English language. Once you get the definition, what is the approach to master a particular topic, you have to start with the definition or the concept, and you should focus on conceptual clarity. There should not be any confusion or ambiguity when it comes to conceptual clarity. Everything should be crystal clear over here when it comes to grammar. So once you got the definition, you got the concept, then you should get the mind map. What is a mind map that goes with the topic verbs? As usual, definition. Then forms. Forms are very important. Usually, a lot of people, when they try to teach or when they try to learn, they take this approach. I have been teaching for the last 25 years. I have been telling people this is not the right approach. You may ask why. If you take your five fingers, you have five fingers, like your five fingers, we have five forms. But if you take this approach, only three forms you're dealing with, two forms you're not touching. That is a problem. And in my opinion, a professional or a native speaker will never use this particular these expressions like V1, V2, V3. They use specific terms. I use specific terms. The basic form or infinitive, the first one, the present form, the past participle form, and the present participle form. How many forms have you got? Five forms. Whenever you want to learn a particular verb or you try to learn a particular verb, first you have to know the five forms. Based on that, you learn the rules, it becomes easy for you. But if you take this V1, V2, V3 approach, At a later stage, you may get a few doubts, you won't get the answers. It may result in some sort of confusion. Why to do that? Go in a systematic way, go in a proper way. There won't be any ambiguity when it comes to learning. In the long run, that helps. Types of verbs. You may wonder why three times. There's so many classifications when it comes to types of verbs. According to one, we have regular verbs, irregular verbs. Another one, we have transitive verbs, intransitive verbs. Another classification, we have finite verbs, non-finite verbs. All these are very important from the exam point of view. Regular, irregular, transitive, intransitive, finite, non-finite. When you take this approach, five forms approach, it becomes easy for you to learn the finite, non-finite. If you take this approach, you get stuck over there. That's why I say it is not advisable. Then you have to learn confusing verbs, very important from the exam point of view. Confusing verbs. After that, you all know quite often when it comes to error location, out of five questions, you can expect one question based on subject verb agreement. The most important when it comes to conquered. As usual, specific rules that go with verbs. This is a mind map. I hope you guys got the mind map that goes with verbs. The most important part of speech. It is like your heart. Heart, there's a problem, man is not there. The same way, no verb, no sentence in English. Let us go to the next dimension, concepts and examples to demonstrate. I have taken confusing verbs, one of the dimensions, confusing verbs. I said very important. Let us have a look at a few examples. In English, according to one classification, we have two types of verbs, regular verbs, irregular verbs. Then you may wonder what is a regular verb, what is an irregular verb. Any verb that takes a D or ED to form the past and past participle forms is known as a regular verb. Any verb that does not take D or ED to form the past and past participle forms is an irregular verb. The problem here, if you take talk, talked, talked, jump, jumped, jumped, pack, packed, packed, dance, danced, danced, smile, smiled, smiled. No issues, no problems. The same way, go, went, gone, buy, bought, bought, drive, drove, driven. But in English, some verbs they have two forms, the regular form, the irregular form. If the meaning does not change, there is no problem. You don't have to focus on that. But a regular form, one meaning, irregular form, another meaning, then it becomes very important from the exam point of view. Here we have the verb hang. As a regular verb, hang, hanged, hanged, it goes with persons. As an irregular verb, hang, hung, hung, it goes with things. Based on this difference, they have been asking questions. In so many exams, they have given questions based on this particular confusing verb. Then you all know fall, fell, fallen, not a big deal. But there is another verb, fell, felled, felled. What does it mean? To cut trees. They have given a few exams based on the second one. You all know find, found, found, not a big deal. But there is another verb, found, founded, founded, which means to establish an organization, a company, anything for that matter. Very important. Now let us see how they ask the questions. He has hanged the shirt outside his room. Is the sentence right or wrong? He has hanged what? The shirt. Shirt is what? A thing. A thing you use a regular form or the irregular form. Here we have to use a irregular form. Based on that, it is not correct. It should be. He has hung the shirt outside his room. Then it is correct. Second example. They fell many trees yesterday. Under pressure, you read a sentence like this. You focus on the time phrase. You're supposed to focus. Yesterday, you tell yourself, oh, the word yesterday is there. That means the sentence should be in past. Where is the verb? Fell. You think already you know there is a fixed idea. What is it? Fall, fell, fallen. Fell is a past form. So you tell yourself it is in past. So no problem. You may go for the fifth option. What is the fifth option? No error. But here we are not talking about this. We are talking about there is another fell. What is it? Fell, felled, felled. Here it means to cut trees. Sentence talks about cutting trees, and the sentence should be in past. The verb should be in past. What is the past form of fell? Felled. Then fell is not correct. It should be felled. Then it is correct. Rules and examples. When it comes to verbs, there are so many rules. One of the rules to demonstrate, there is something called types of verbs. Again, we have stative verbs, causative verbs. There's an important rule that goes with causative verbs. What is it? Causative verbs, when used in active voice, please listen carefully, focus on the key words. When used in active voice, don't take the preposition to. That means you should not use a preposition to. Look at the example. And what are the causative verbs important from the exam point of view? One is make, second is help, and the third one, rarely they have given get. Many exams they have given make and help. He has helped those people to achieve success. Is this sentence right or wrong? He has helped those people to achieve success. Is this sentence right or wrong? This sentence is wrong. Why is it wrong? Let also you can say, but exam point of view, make help you can't afford to forget. He has helped a causative verb. Then we cannot use a preposition to. He has helped those people achieve success. Then it is correct. He made the students to write the assignment 5 times yesterday. Is this sentence right or wrong? In this example also we have a causative verb. Make, made, made. He made the students to write. It's a common error. All these are common errors. He made the students to should not be there. He made the students write the assignment 5 times yesterday. Yes, that's what I'm doing. 200 rules, one playlist. How to master one playlist. What surprises me, anyhow, I will talk about that at the back end of the session. So remove two, I have removed. How many rules do you have to learn when it comes to verbs? You should learn about 15 rules related to verbs and how to remember. Always, what matters here, you have to learn, you have to remember, and you have to consolidate. While taking the exam, within no time, you should be able to recollect. How fast you can recollect, that matters. Actually, it matters. How to remember. Write 15 rules in brief. Use mnemonics. Focus on examples. Practice a lot of questions. Every topic, the same thing. And sample page, how to remember rules. When you write confusing verbs, then you don't have to write all the forms. They should be at your fingertips. Just write the pairs. Fall, fell. Find, found. Born, born. Answer my question. What is the difference between these two? Born, B-O-R-N. Born, B-O-R-N-E. Bear, bore, born. This talks about giving birth to someone. I was born and brought up in Vishakhapatnam. And always in passive voice because your mother gives birth to you. B-O-R-N-E means to carry something. Waterborne diseases, airborne diseases. The load was carried by the donkey. Then you can say the load was borne by the donkey. Borne by the donkey, B-O-R-N-E. Very important. You have just seen hung, hanged. Lie, lay, very confusing. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to explain the difference between lie, lay. Very confusing. One of the reasons, lie is a noun, lie is a verb, lie is a regular verb, lie is an irregular verb. The past form of lie as an irregular verb is lay, and we have a separate verb, lay, laid, laid. And all these you have to write in brief. Then you will be able to remember. That's all for today from this session. And I said I would say something at the fag end of the session. What is that? I've just started 200 rules, 7:30 p.m. and how to master series, 100 topics, 100 important topics, 8 o'clock. What surprises me, no doubt, rules are very important. In my opinion, how to master verbs, how to master 100 important topics, very important. You may ask why. Today, if you look at the candidates across the country, almost all of them are intelligent, they are diligent. Why only a few people get selected? They know the exam approach. There is something called exam approach. Here, when I have come up with how to master verbs, I have thought of this. This is nothing but exam approach. You follow this approach, you learn grammar this way. Almost all the topics. I said 100 important topics. I'm going to touch grammar, reading comprehension skill, and also vocabulary. If you attend all these sessions and follow the tips, I'm sure not one job, you'll get 3 or 4 jobs I can give in writing. And 1 year is more than enough, 9 months to 1 year. I'm doing, all of you, please listen. This is a main channel. I've started one more channel, Murthy's Bank and SSC exams. There I'm uploading the same topic in Telugu. I'm doing in Telugu. Please join that channel. That is Murthy's Bank and SSC exams. And the response hasn't been, I have expected a very good response, to be very frank. Slowly, perhaps students are not aware of that. The response here is very good, but the response over there, I don't know the exact reason. I am teaching in Telugu, but initially I may not use completely Telugu because I haven't done. It is something new for me also. To the extent possible, I am doing it in Telugu, and I'm sure it will be useful for those who prefer bilingual approach. That's all for today. Thank you very much for being with me. Good night to all of you. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock sharp.